Celebrate Texas Card House Dallas 4th anniversary. High hands from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. $1,000 drawings every hour from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Buy 4 hours for $44.
Jason Mitchell, critically acclaimed actor and the star of Straight Outta Compton, is coming to TCH Social Austin for the meetup game and live stream with Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, 2004 WSOP main event winner Greg Raymer, poker vlogger Wolfgang Poker, WSOP bracelet winner Fireman Scott, and Pokerface Ash. For more details, visit TexasCardHouse.com. High hands every 20 minutes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Winner gets an $800 entry that day into the $1 million guaranteed Trailblazer main event. Earn a $200 for $400 time match by playing 2 hours from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Plus free play from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. $1 beers and $1 monthly memberships for new members only. Only at TCH Social Austin and only on October 23rd. Trailblazer SUV, the Trailblazer Points Championship is here. The more you play and the higher you rank in the Trailblazer Poker Tour, the better your chances are. The best tournament player in the Trailblazer Poker Tour drives away with this grand prize. For full details on the Trailblazer Poker Tour and the Points Championship, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
Good afternoon. Welcome to TCH Live from TCH Social Austin. Today we've got the final table of our $500,000 guaranteed Trailblazer Tour first weekend multi-day tournament. I'm William Lottie with you for however long it takes for us to crown a champion here. Should be a really great one. We've got some familiar faces. We've got AA Ron sitting in seat 2, Aaron McAvoy, longtime commentator and good friend, and actually should have been in my seat tonight, but he's in a much better seat. He's in the seat that pays money, and so I'm filling in for him. Also recognize seat 7, Brittany. Longtime viewers of the show will remember her from past final table appearances. We'll go through the rest of the lineup, the chip counts, as soon as I get those up. There we go. We'll go from bottom up. Christian in seat 8, our shortest stack, 1.36 million. We're in the middle of 50, 100, 100 as far as the blinds. So 13.5 bigs. Not really panic time, but a double up would be nice in the near future. On his right is James, 17 million. And Steffen in seat 6 with 1.9 million or so. So the shorter stacks all sort of group together. This is a random draw, but sometimes it just works out that way. Now we've got Alexander in seat 5 with a much healthier 2.9 million, 29 bids. Plenty of maneuvering room there. And then Kevin in about the same boat, seat 1. AA Ron sitting with 3.2 million. If you read the live updates on the Trailblazer blog yesterday, you'd know that he made a miraculous comeback from a sub-1 big blind stack. And here he is in 4th place at the final table, locked up at least 9th place. And then we have our heavyweight stacks in seats 7, 3, and 4. Justin with 5 million, Kenneth with 5.4, and our chip leader, Brittany, with over 6 million chips. Good luck to all these players, and away we go with our final table. We'll get to the payouts after this hand. See if any poker breaks out first. Miyati in seat 4, folding. Over to Steffen, seat number 6 with the ace-queen, one of our shorter stacks. Gonna go, looks like 2.5 million. Britt Bowler waking up with the ace-jack. She is pipped, but she may want to play this hand. Ace-jack usually pretty good. She may want to pressure this short stack, put him to the test, see if he wants to get in with ace-queen. There are a couple of shorter stacks that Steffen could be waiting out here to ladder up. Britt elects to call. AA Ron with kings. Just what the doctor ordered. There's a good chance he can get in against Steffen. I imagine the 3-bet's coming. The question is how big. Probably about 850 to $1 million if I had to guess. And puts the chips out. The number is 850. Over to Steffen. I could see him just moving all in here. Like if he continues, he's basically committing himself anyway. And he's probably thinking that the 250 from Britt is essentially dead. And that she's fairly capped. He folds the ace-queen. Britt with the ace-jack off may follow suit here. No need for her to get tangled up with another big stack at this point. So AA Ron going to pick up 700,000 chips that he did not have a hand to go. All right, what a start. You know what? I can never fault somebody for folding ace-queen. So let's look at these payouts. All these players have locked up at least $8,630. That's what ninth place pays. Next player out will give everyone a ladder up to $11,490. So that's a nice little pay jump, $2,800. And looking up top, $86,210 to our winner, as well as a trophy, which I'll show you after this hand. Britt with some threes, choosing to limp in. Playing 500, 100, 100. ADHD with AA. 2 aces. Goes up to 300. Likely to get action. Miyati sitting with a suited ace wheel. $4.8 million, one of our largest stacks. Out of position. A lot of ways this could go.
4 races to 1 million.
Goes for the 3, but goes to 1 million. I believe those green chips worth $500,000 that he's put out. Over to ADHD, who's in position with aces. If he calls, that would leave about 2 million behind and 2 million in the pot. I think calling is probably the best option here. And then hope that Miyati bets flop. Stack the pot will be 1. You're going to have no problem getting all in. Instead, he's going to just pull the trigger now. Move all in. Hope Miyati has a big pair or ace-king or something. That said, Miyati should probably not be that excited to get wrapped up with a 3 million chip stack at this point, given that there are some shorties around. And you really don't want to go broke before them. Could be thousands of dollars worth of ICM equity out the window. So there's no way ace-5 suited is calling off here. So ADHD going to just cash in the equity now, pick up over 1 million chips. Great outcome for him. So here's what they're playing for. Here's the trophy.
I like your rock. What is that?
Trailblazer Poker Tour, first place. Multi-day no limit hold'em. It's a nice looking trophy. And of course, they'll earn points towards that Trailblazer Point Championship.
I like green.
May have seen a promo right before the show about that. All the details on that system at texascardhouse.com. The important thing to know, whoever has the most points at the end of the series in spring of 2025 wins a Chevy Trailblazer. There's a $50K free roll for the top point scorers as well. Well, blind versus blind action. Miyati with a suited connector can certainly enter the pot with 8-7 suited. Chooses to limp those purple chips 100K. Alex 9-6 offsuit and covered by Miyati. Probably just take the free flop. That's what he'll do. Nobody impressed with the Queen Jack Jack flop. Check, check. First player to bet wins. Well, not check, check. Just one check. Maybe Alex considering a bluff. No, he's going to check it back. Perfectly fine. You have 9 high. And now you have an open enter with this 10 of hearts turn. Miyadi's outs do include the chop outs. Miyadi going for a min bet. He did pick up a gutter. And Alex lets it go. So Miyadi picks up that big blind, also picks up that ante.
Kind of like this compared to the other. The other one's like a blue target, you know, on there. Well, the one in Dallas has it.
And hello to everybody in chat. See a lot of familiar faces. Great to see you all.
You can see, like, if you look at it, you can
Tillman's
see the
Body
circle,
Talk
right? But,
cheering
like,
for Britt. Dustin cheering for Christian.
I mean, I don't think
Amanda cheering for Britt and AA Ron. I know them the best of everyone at this table, so certainly wouldn't mind seeing either of them take it down.
it was like, oh, this was a slightly less black.
Very happy to see friends make good runs. That's part of the fun of being a tournament grinder. Cheering for the success of those around you. ADHD with King Queen makes it 300. Beautiful Jack 10 suited for Miyadi on the button.
Six calls, 3 players.
Bink for seat number 4 of Miyadi, flopping trips on this 10-10-3 board. Checks over to Miyadi, 10-10-3 rainbow. I probably just check back and hope somebody makes a pair on the turn. It's very hard for somebody to actually have a hand on 10-10-3. Miyadi will go for the $250,000. Could get called by a pair. Steffen with Queen 8 offsuit. Defended big blind, did not get rewarded here, unfortunately. ADHD gonna float. To the turn we go. Disaster for ADHD poker, turns top pair. But it's gonna need another king. Over to Miyadi. Definitely it turns a bet on.
4 bets, 600,000.
600 the bet, a little under half pot. Don't think we turn top pair to fold it. Does make the call. ADHD drawing to a king and a king alone. Instead gets the 8 of clubs. Backdoor clubs do get there. See if this will slow Miyadi or not. Backdoor clubs among the less likely holdings that would call flop and turn.
Can I get 2 runners as well, please? Or is that for him?
I believe so.
Here, let's
They know
just
better than us.
just bring it right here.
What do you think was going to be 60?
I have no idea. He's, yeah. Yeah, we'll find out. I appreciate it.
Miyadi with just over pot behind. Looks like 1.5 from Miyadi. So about half pot. ADHD poker in a bit of a bind. What's firing all three streets that isn't a 10 is what he's got to be asking himself. He makes the call. Miyagi going to show the trips. And Miyagi, I believe, is taking the chip lead with that monster pot.
Blinds up, yeah. 75.
Blinds are up, 75, 125, 125. Say hi to some more of the chat here. Yoda of Chatsville, cheering for Brittany. Good to see you, Yoda. Demond's good to see you. Play a lot of mix with him. Romeo cheering for Steph. Tejas or Tejas, I don't know how to say that name. Is that Donovan, the tournament director? I'm actually not sure. I don't actually, like, I haven't met a lot of the new staff since we moved to this new, bigger location. But I look forward to getting to know everybody as time goes on. AA Ron with the suited connector. Apparently that is Donovan per John. AA Ron went for the min raise. Folds to Britt Bowler with the very fun 7-5 suited. She defends. Heads up we go. Ace, ace, 9. Going to be a great big swing and miss for both players. I suspect the first player to bet wins. This is a board that favors Aaron's range. He can certainly have all the good aces as the raiser.
150. 7 fold.
And he does put out that small C bet and gets the quick fold from the 7 high. A typical blackjack, good to see you. A very nice gal, cheering for AA Ron. LV Coleman, good to see you. Peaches, yes, this is a nice prize pool. Kenny, I'd have to do the math on the on what the overlay was. There was overlay, which is great news for the players. Some free money kicked in. AA Ron with another hand. Ace Jack suited. Real busy in the early goings here. Makes it $250,000, and Ken coming along with some 9s.
5 fold. 6 fold. 7 fold.
I think that's supposed to be Baby Spider in the big blinds. Folding the ace jack off, that's a smart fold, I think. And there's a set, even smarter now. Ken flopping a set of 9s. AA Ron with some back doors. Over to Ken. Certainly wants to bet here. There's a lot of turns that will be uncomfortable for that set. A lot of cards that'll straighten the board out. Ken can only bet a third pot. $250,000, the bet size. Aaron gonna make the call. I think this turn will dictate whether he wants to stick around. 4 of spades, I think he will be sticking around. AA Ron picking up the nut spade draw. $700,000 the bet from Ken. About half pot. Aaron getting a decent price to draw to these spades, especially when you consider the likelihood that he gets himself some river value when he does get there.
So where are you from, man?
LA.
Huh?
LA.
LA?
Born and raised.
Oh, nice.
I came out here to UT.
Oh, in school then?
Mhm.
Oh, sweet. Did you go to the game on Saturday?
I did, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. That was pretty bad beating.
Aaron letting it go,
Yeah, well,
proving me wrong.
it doesn't help when our offense has a complete collapse of their capabilities.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Kent gonna take this one.
They made the game in the second half.
Robert wondering how many players left.
Yeah.
You see all 9 of these players at the table. This is who's left in the tournament.
Football history.
So,
The fans gotta call it.
9 right now as we speak here. Kenny wondering how much was the overlay.
Houston, Texas.
I think I can figure this out. How many entries did we get? We got 1,046 entries. You multiply that by 400. That was the entry fee for this tournament. That's about 416,000 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what was taken in. Never mind that club access fees are a thing, which obviously we missed out on. But yeah, that's over $80,000 kicked in, and they did pay that out. And Britt Blower hoping to get paid out here with 2 kings on the button makes it 300. Baby Spider makes the fold,
Texas Courthouse, 18.
as does
21?
Waco Scrub.
I
They
think it's 18 here.
18. But
both the shorter stacks. She was certainly hoping, I'm sure, that one of them would just shove.
Because we sell chicken tenders, we can still.
Those chicken tenders
Hey
are
man,
good.
I love my Dino Nuggies, alright?
No, but Dino Nuggies at 21.
There's somebody mentioning the food here.
That's a good answer.
There's food here. There's a bar here. Why leave?
3 folds. 4 folds.
Rockets fan.
5.
Now Britt's a friend of mine. Britt's. I like Britt. And a lot of people in chat like Britt.
Is all in.
Baby Spider with an ace on the button. Gonna put his million in.
Looks like
ADHD Poker
1,025,000.
with a king. From the standpoint of chip BV, you could consider calling here for sure, even if it's just King X. That said, ICM is a thing. Do we want to go broke first, potentially? Like, the gap's not that big. There's not that much pressure on him, and he does make the fold. Over 200 of you watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. This is a great final table. We got some great players here. And we got some great poker. We got a huge prize pool.
3 folds.
And this is final table. Ace King for Miyati. Miyati running hot in the early goings.
4 raises to 250. 5 folds. 6 folds.
Britt with Ace King of her own. 2 big stacks with Ace King offsuit. This could get interesting. Like this, given how big these stacks are, and given the amount of ICM involved, like this could be something other than just a big pre-flop explosion. Britt does go for the 3-bet. Graphics are going to catch up with a couple of folds.
It's a liberal arts major called Human Dimensions of Organization.
oh,
It's new, it's made in 2018.
Apologies for the little hiccup here.
Problems in the workplace. You know, consulting.
Chancellor cheering for Britt and Aaron. Waco Scrub in another deep one.
Arguably considered more important than my
Shay
actual
cheering for
degree.
Britt.
sounds like it. can always fall back on poker, right?
Okay.
No, no.
Aaron
Hard
folding
way
the
to
ace
be-
queen.
Right.
They're raising the 3-bet. We just get out of there with the ace queen. Tournaments. That's a very sound move in tournaments.
6.3.
Miyadi asking what she started with stack-wise. Miyadi choosing to flat. Miyadi out of position. 6-6-5, they both miss. Nobody with a backdoor either. Miyadi covering Britt by a little bit.
7 bets, 500,000.
Britt putting out the $500,000 C-bet. Can certainly have over pairs. Miyadi not going to go away that easily. Makes the call. 8 of hearts on the turn. Check, check. This board not that great for either range. Deuce of hearts on the end. My video is frozen. Stand by.
Once all the cards are out, you can fold it back. 7 makes it 250.
Well, again, I think I'm on again. Sorry for the technical hiccup. Back with you now. I did not catch how that pot ended, unfortunately. I assume they chopped it. I'm looking at Britt's stack. They have to have chopped it given her stack size. Yeah, sorry for the technical hiccup, but we're back. TCH Live. Final table. Britt Bowler putting in the min raise with the 8-7 suited. AA Ron in the small blind, ace-jack off. This is a 3-bet candidate, especially out of position. Call also viable. Does make the call. Britt can have a pretty wide range as one of the bigger stacks. Queen 8-5.
I'll pause. Hold on, sorry.
Too fast. Okay, I'll slow down.
Sounds like we got an issue up there.
Oh.
But also, yeah, slow down. What the
Slow
hell?
down. Okay.
All right, so Queen 8-5.
Check, right?
Britt with middle pair.
Check, check.
Check, check. No need to go too crazy now. 3 of clubs on the turn. See if Aaron wants to pounce on the check and attempt a bluff of some kind. He does not.
7 bets, 200.
We're going to go for that delayed C-bet now. 200,000. No pair for Aaron. No draw for Aaron. Ace high occasionally good. Does make the call. He does beat some bluffs. Deuce of spades on the end.
Alright.
Check, check. Pair of 8's going to be good for Britt. So she got a little bit of value with that pair. All right. Tejas, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. So I have never dealt in my life. I'm based down here in Austin. I have been up to TCH Dallas a few times. Very nice room up there as well as Las Colinas and Spring in Houston and Rio Grande Valley. All the TCHs, they're awesome. Yeah, I'm not a dealer though. I have played on this stream a lot. I've done commentary for the last few years. So I'm sure you've heard me before. You've probably heard me up in Dallas if you've been up there. Fireman Scott in the chat, cheering for Aaron. Good to see you. I played with Fireman Scott yesterday as I was trying to make day 2 of this tournament and failing. Waco Scrub with 2 red queens, making the raise. ADHD Poker with ace-10 offsuit. Well, what's the call? Shoving also an option there. About pot left behind for seat number 1 as we go to a flop. 8, 7, 6, 2 spades. Queens still ahead. ADHD does pick up the gut shot. $400K gets the fold from ADHD, who is now sub 4 big blinds. I don't know about football predictions, atypical blackjack. I don't know who made what predictions.
Yeah.
That Green Bay defense was going to be tough, though. Steffen, less than 10 bigs, queen jack suited. Could shove, could also try and wait out seat 1,
I think he's with us.
who's slightly shorter. Well, slightly shorter, but in terms of seed order, though, Steffen's actually the one at the disadvantage because Steffen's going to take his blinds first.
That's what I thought.
Does choose to fold the queen jack suited.
I was going to say, I think Sonia will be here soon.
ADHD Poker shoving the king 2 suited on the hijack. And Ken has aces.
No, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? She'll probably be here soon. She gets off at 4:30. Well, thanks for coming. It's going good.
Ken has chosen to just call.
6 million from where I started.
Certainly wouldn't mind some additional action holding 2 aces. Unlikely to get it. Will not get it. So can aces hold against king deuce suited? We saw 2 of those hearts hit the muck with the queen jack from under the gun. Here we go to the run out. Top set, no sweat for Ken. 4 aces. In case 3 aces wasn't enough, how about 4 of them? ADHD Poker is going to be eliminated in 9th place. Thanks for playing, and
take the mic off, sir.
good job on this run.
Leave it here.
Take a look at these payouts real quick, and he's going to lock up 86.30, and everyone else locks up $11,490. Next pay jump, $2,950 worth of additional value.
I thought it was you.
No. It's been nice to get aces, though.
I stepped away for a sec, so I wasn't
And
fully.
we'll get on to the next hand. Yeah, if we want to be results oriented, that queen jack was the most amazing fold ever. AA Ron with AA in the hole.
2 makes it 250. 4 folds, or 3 folds, sorry. 4 folds.
I don't have his action yet.
5 folds.
One for the min raise up to 250. Steffen with the king deuce, not even suited.
lot of meat in between. Is
Is that dead on the money?
Very
Right on the
distracting.
money.
Thank you.
Right on the money.
9 folds. Okay. Can everyone scan again, sir? We good? All right.
Little hiccup with the scanner.
9 folds, 2 folds. It wasn't you. She said it was her. 3 calls. 4 folds. 5 folds.
Ace Queen for Steffen on the button. This is the all-in moment, just under 4 bigs.
7 folds. 8 folds.
In terms of pot odds, okay, Ken's gonna fold here. At 5-4, and okay, for 7 bigs, that would be a bit light to call. But if Steffen were a little bit short of stacked, you'd be committed with any 2 cards that you had already put money in with. Crucial pickup for Steffen. The blinds and antes are 325,000 collectively, and
One bit, yeah, it's 65K on 80K.
that 125
Yeah, I
limp
do
is just a
remember
little bit of extra gravy.
Chip in a chair. Yeah, literal chip in a chair situation.
Kyle Frisbee, one of our commentators, chiming in, rooting for Aaron. Needs all the help he can get.
It was 80K at 65, and I was in the big blind the next hand, so I could only win.
Is that a needle?
Pulls to 65. I didn't even make the ante. Thankfully, they do big blind before ante, right? So.
Still eligible for the ante?
That's a great. For this.
Well, I won that one, then I chopped the next one all in from the small blind. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, so then I had 6 big
8
blinds, doubled up, had 14 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, now you're.
And then I was back. Yeah.
9 brings to
Hey,
4.
Ron sharing his comeback story.
And you're back. Yeah. Anything over single digits, you're back.
Waco raises his suited ace.
7 calls. Heads up.
Britt gonna defend from the button. King deuce suited. Flops a deuce. Out flopping Waco.
9 bets 200.
He c-bets and she instantly rips.
Slide the button over.
And she's good when she doesn't get snapped.
It's a great example of why we should do big blind first, though. Like the difference between you making this final table enough. You can only win your ante back.
Yeah, well, some people would say the opposite. They'd be like, that's a good example of why you shouldn't do it that way, because, like, you know, anybody can win a couple hands in a row and then just back. But I think the argument can be made both ways.
It can be made both ways.
Yeah.
I like the big blind first, though.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly.
You paid the ante in the entire tournament, you should be eligible for it.
I think winning your ante back is just
It's pretty rough.
counterintuitive.
It's pretty rough.
Upsets people. 3 races to 250, 4 folds.
What do you all think in the chat? We're having this little discussion about big blind versus ante first. If you have less than 2 big blinds and you're on the big blinds,
6 folds, 7 folds,
what should get paid first, the big blinds or the ante?
8 folds,
At TCH, it's big blind first.
9 folds.
And around the industry, more and more, it's becoming big blind first rather than ante first. The purists will still argue for the ante, but it's certainly not as player friendly.
Oh, we lost a player, yes.
I like the big blind first myself. Hey, there's our producer, David. Been collecting the microphone from seat 1.
So that's why.
Aaron defending with ace queen. Something for everyone, ace jack 7. Middle pair for Ken, our pre-flop raiser. But top pair for AA Ron, our big blinds.
So I guess you didn't have class today?
Oh, I did have class today. I had a very busy day before this, actually. And I have an exam tomorrow that I'm not studying for.
Oh.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. Bad beat, some might say.
Oh, a little hooky from seat 5.
It'll be worth it.
Well, hopefully we give him 86,000 justifications. Ken continuing for 350.
Or
Aaron calling, keeping
Human
Ken's range
dimensions
as
of
wide as
organization.
possible.
Yeah, so it's
Deuce of spades, no help for Ken's backdoors.
No. It's how to solve people-centered problems in the workplace. So consulting, HR.
Check, check. Deuce on the end. Aces up for Aaron. His
making
queen
profits
plays.
out of it, you know. A lot of people going to
Crucially, it plays.
finance, private equity, stuff like that too. Getting a minor in business.
If you were up against a
which I arguably consider more important.
lesser ace, that might think they were chopping.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Aaron gonna go for some value.
600,000. 3 calls.
600,000 gets the quick call from Ken, and Aaron gonna take a chunk off of him. And Sergio pointing out TDA says big blinds first now. The rooms that follow TDA rules, that's
Jeremy,
what
been
they'll be
doing out here a
adopting.
while?
In Texas, 4 years.
Now, apparently Orleans still does, or no, not Orleans.
from
When
originally?
Caesars New Orleans does it, apparently it's still Annie first there. I've never played poker in New Orleans.
Bet, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I drove right past it.
I think Aaron has actually. I think one of Aaron's rings came from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that
Aaron in
was
C2, he is an accomplished tournament player,
around 5, 4, 6, 4.
and adding to his resume today, whatever happens.
Yeah, oh yeah. 7 fold.
Bet the dogs and play some poker.
Hart suggesting
dogs
check out
and
the
play some
TCH
poker.
tournament blog. I agree. Available at TexasCardHouse.com. We've got a shove from Waco. Ace 10 offsuit. And he's going to get snapped by Ken, our chip leader, or near chip leader, who has Ace 7. He is dominated. Ken Waco holds with the Ace 10 versus Ace 7. Ken outflops him with the 7. The Jack pairs. Ace or a 10 for Waco. Gets the 10! The suck, resuck, and Waco's going to double up.
That is correct. 1.2.
It's not over till they put the river out. And the dream continues for Waco. Huge double up.
Have a poker ring. That was like the law.
Oh, okay.
That's very Florida.
The thing that I hated was the $100 max buy-in. Didn't matter what stakes you were playing, the $100 max.
Yeah.
You're playing 5 10. It was so bad. It was like,
You're
so
only
whenever
enjoying
I
this.
would
Be
do
sure
it,
to hit that like button.
For 100 until everybody got in for 1,000. Then we would play 5 10. It was so just dysfunctional.
Totally free to do, and gets us a little bit of exposure, and we make some more friends in this chat. See some new faces here. Glad to see you all. Welcome. We're on at least 5 days a week on TCH Live. Streaming out of 4 different locations. Baby Spider, Ace 10 offsuit, and 8 big blinds. This might be the all-in. This is the almost all-in. He's left a 25K chip behind. This is something you see in tournaments sometimes where when all hell breaks loose behind you, if you get like 2 shoves behind you, you can fold and potentially collect a ladder. And if you're going to make this move, you're probably also doing it with something like aces that you're never ever folding. Waco with 6s does have a choice to make. He did just get those chips. 6s could be good against a 8 big blind shove. He does choose to make the fold. There are some big stacks behind him, one of whom has ace king. Miyati with ace king, and he makes the raise, and Baby Spider flicks in the remaining 25K. Baby Spider needs to find a 10, otherwise Miyati will squash him. Ace, Jack 7, no good for the Spider. The Jack pairs on the turn, 7 on the end. The King plays for Miyati, so Baby Spider going to be eliminated in 8th place.
Yeah, I'll take your mic.
Thank you for playing. Seat 8, you're the Spider, you're in seat 8, you have 8 legs. It makes sense, right?
Like I can't call. Like, the Richard is calling.
Good game.
Richard, he's calling.
$11,490 is what he'll take home.
No, I had a pair.
Everyone else is secured now. $14,440. And another $3,000 pay jump or so looms. If you can survive another elimination.
Huh? 1.425? 1.3, I think. 1.3? Just over 10 bigs.
Steffen with a suited ace and 10 bigs. An okay suited ace, not a great one. He's going to wait for another spot. Yeah, funny how these sevens and jacks keep showing up. It happens.
2-4. Three raises to 375.
Ken, our button, is going to attack, raising his king 3 offsuit. A white open normally, but this big blind doesn't have a lot of chips to spare. Probably why Ken went with a 3 big blind sizing as well. We want to really put Alex in the blender. He has 5s, and he doesn't quite have the price to set mine. He is, however, going to shove, and he guessed right. Ken didn't have it. So Alex going to pick up a nice little pot here. And you know what? If this looks like fun, good news. We still have another week worth of the Trailblazer Tour here in Austin. And we're going to cap it off with a $1 million guaranteed main event starting on Wednesday. $800 buy-in. Flights Wednesday through Saturday, 12 and 5. Day 2 will be Sunday, and we'll live stream that final table 1 week from today, right back here, TCH Live. And we've overlaid, I think, every single tournament this series, so there is some added value here. Come on over here to Austin. I know there's some hotel discounts. If you check the Texas Card House social medias, there's more details there. I think there's a link at texascardhouse.com. We'd love to have you all here.
Oh, snapping it all in.
Phil predicting a $400,000 overlay. I'm glad it's not my money. But I'm going to be firing that tournament. I'm going to try and make it my money. I'm going to try and get a chunk of that. Houston asking, is that guy using a solver? What guy? I don't think anybody here is using a solver. Those only take you so far in Texas. People do weird stuff in Texas. If computers could cry, they'd probably cry at the sight of Texas poker. Min raise from Alex on the button. Shorter stack raising into the big blinds, who has a big stack and has an ace. Might decide to play the bully.
Where do you call home?
From Colleen, but I lived here for like the last 18 years.
Oh, sweet, man.
Oh, that's a
I've been in Austin.
Is going to play defense.
Colorado.
Gonna call that min raise. That's pretty good odds that she's getting. 10-6-3. And nobody's allowed to have any devices out on the table. Like whatever the device is, you're not allowed. You have to step away from the stage entirely if you want to use your phone. Alex takes it down with a C-bet. We do have a full slate of events apart from the main event as well to check out this week. Today we had a Hold'em deep stack and an Omaha 8 or better tournament. Tomorrow there's a tag team. Wednesday there's a horse. Thursday there's a dealer's choice. Friday there's a PLO. Whole schedule at texascardhouse.com. Tony Turkison, good to see you. Longtime friends of the show. Ken, min raising a mystery hand. Waco defending big blinds. Queen 6 suited. They're red, but they're not diamonds. 10-9-5 all hearts. C-bet should get the job done.
Independence stash IPA, please.
Is this your topo?
It does get the job done. We don't know what Ken has, but
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
Sure.
have the job done.
Yeah.
You gonna pay my blind for me? Sweet.
No, not today, man.
Okay, alright. You've done
Oh.
That's 65.
Bob's been watching. Thanks for watching, Bob. Good to see you. Anorak's wondering why no TCH San Antonio, because they haven't built one yet. They haven't opened one yet. Who knows? Maybe one day. I have no actual knowledge of any future expansion plans.
I'm actually I'm an orphan. I support me and my 17 siblings. Yeah.
Bob heading over here from Houston.
Well, that's where I know you're from. 18 and counting?
Yep.
Can't wait to see you here. Say hi if you run into me. 15-minute delay. Atypical blackjack poker. Rhino, good to see you. Steffen will in with the ace-4
Thanks. I
suited.
just ordered a beer, so.
That would have been awkward.
Yeah.
Naveen wondering what were the blinds to start the day. So we played down to final table yesterday, and we picked up play today in the middle of 50, 100, 100, and now we're into 75, 125.
Okay, blinds are up. It's on me to do it, right? Okay, blinds are up, guys.
The blinds are up.
So it's 75, 150.
75, 150 are blinds now. We are playing 40-minute blinds today.
I don't really have a great clock to look at.
Yeah, that one's probably really edge on for you, right?
4 folds, 5 folds.
And so 75, 150 now, and then 100, 200 will be the next blind in another 40 minutes. Steffen with 2 kings.
Don't look at those
See
cards.
that?
On the hijack.
Dead. Yeah, sorry.
I know, guys.
Didn't want you to be disappointed.
I know.
This is all in, 7 folds, 9 folds.
All in. The bet from Steffen.
10 folds.
And gets it through.
You're welcome.
Poker Rhinos played with Aaron and Britt. High quality table, yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
Houston wouldn't mess with Steffen. Houston, I'm not sure what you mean. Commentators may want to let the other players know that he's actually a professional. Who are you talking about?
Wait.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm talking. Should I fix it or misdeal it?
Yeah, so
Okay, let's just misdeal it.
anytime like I'm going into a day 2 or even like a day 3, if I'm super lucky,
Right?
I go look at the seat draw,
What could have been?
and I will look everybody up on Hens and Mob, which is a site that tracks live tournament caches. I'll see like maybe who has a long track record, and maybe somebody who might be more recreational, somebody who might be like normally somebody who plays lower stakes, somebody who might be newer to the game. Little trick for those of you looking at playing larger field tournaments, multi-day tournaments. Alex folding that queen jack suited. One of those things you do in a final table situation. You'd never see that in a cash game. And Waco with 2 aces. Waco getting some hands.
375.
Looks like 375. And Aaron with kings. Cooler in progress. Poor Aaron, he's going to 3-bet, and he's going to get 4-bet, and he's going to snap it. And then he's going to have to hit a 2-outer.
I got a 2.2.
Aaron wanting to know
Leave
what
it.
Waco
King.
had. That's music to Waco's ears.
Fucking runs off right as I go to talk to him.
Two raises to 850.
850, the raise from Aaron. Perfectly good sizing there. Gonna be unfortunate timing. Waco with 2 aces, out of position. With that stack size, all in is the move that probably makes the most sense here. Certainly don't want to snap it in. Moves all in, gets snapped. Aaron gets the bad news. Aaron needs a king. Otherwise, Waco will double up. Here we go to the run out. 9-7-5, no help for Aaron. 6 of spades, 8 would chop it. 8 would chop it. The 6 pairs instead. Waco is going to double up at Aaron's expense. Waco right in the game now with 4.8 million. Aaron's still with a workable stack. He's got about 15 bigs.
Running pure, James. Nice hand.
Bad luck, look.
And production just pasted the link to the Trailblazer blog in the chat. And I think stickied it.
Oh.
I don't know if he stickied it. He might have stickied it. Worth checking out. You get to see all the updates from all the various events we're running. My name features there once, as far as I know. It was yesterday when they were saying who made the Deuce to 7 final table. And it was in the context of, after I busted, these 7 people made the final table in the Deuce to 7. Because I actually hit a straight draw for once in my life, and it happened playing low ball, which is the exact wrong time. AA Ron with ace-jack suited. Gets right back on the horse. Makes the min raise. Miyati is pipped with the king jack off.
I'll let you look at my chips one more time.
I think Miyati's considering all the options here. Miyati going to put Aaron to the test. Puts him all in. Wondering if Aaron really has back-to-back good enough hands. Ace-Jack suited's close. I don't have a full list of the chip counts. I don't know who might be shorter than Aaron that he might be trying to outlast right now. Aaron is towards the bottom of the chip count. So less pressure to survive in that regard. But you know what? He's spun it up before. This won't be the moment for him. He will make the fold. Miyati going to pick up some more chips. About 31 million chips in play in this tournament. So Miyati with about a quarter of the chips in play right now. Jan Tell Boys, great final table. You played the event? Yeah, I played this 4 times myself. Yeah, didn't quite make it. Hey, that happens. It's tough.
7 folds. 9 folds. 2 folds. 3 folds.
One of my bust outs was actually with aces. I got in against ace queen, and I did not win. And Miyati with 2 queens on the button. Miyati takes another one, takes some blanks and antes. You know, you run kings into aces on the final table, you're going to be a little bit salty as well. And yeah, I like Aaron. Like, he's not out of line. It happens to all of us. It's not like he's going to pull a helmet and just explode all over and have a temper tantrum or anything.
All in.
Ace 10 offsuit, he's going to go all in. 3 hands out of 4, he's gotten in there. Steffen, he covers slightly, and Aaron going to take this one. Gets that through, so we get one going the right way for him. Steffen, the 1 player Aaron's covering right now. If we want to think about surviving, it's Miyati and Britt out front. Waco and Ken in pretty solid shape as well. Alex, Aaron, and Steffen sub 20 right now.
3 raises to 300. 4 folds.
Ken with the min raise.
5 folds, 6 folds. 7 folds. 9 folds.
And Ken gets it through. Tell you about an event we've got coming up on Wednesday. The All In Together Poker and Politics meetup game from 2 to 11 on Wednesday the 23rd. We've got actor Jason Mitchell, we got Fireman Scott, we've got Wolfgang Poker, we've got Greg Raymer, main event champion, Poker Face Ash, and we've got Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton in the house that day. Got a bunch of promos that day as well. I'll let you know about those in a moment. Hope to see you here. I'll be around. I'll definitely be firing the horse tournament, and I'll certainly be around and maybe playing in that meetup game if I get knocked off the horse. Horse a 5-game mix for those of you who are familiar. 5 limit games. Hold'em, Omaha 8 or better, Raz, stud 8 or better. Deuces for Britt and Waco with aces again. Living the dream. Aces on the final table twice in one orbit.
Might be going to game 1.
That is a recipe for
We
success.
want to game 7, but we don't know if game 7's going to happen.
That game one would be the way to go.
Waco going for about 975. Probably gets the deuces out. And well, Waco going to take this one. Corey asking about the chip denominations he's going to show. The green chips are $500,000. The purple chips are 100,000. The red chips are 25,000. And those are the denominations we have in play at the moment. Rebel Poker says this looks more like a house than a casino. Well, TCH Social is a social club. It is not a casino. So, yeah, that might be why we don't look like a casino here, because we're not. But you know what? This room is nicer than a lot of the poker rooms that you would find in actual casinos. So, there is that upside. Definitely poker is much more a priority here than it would be at some random casino in Vegas. Some places where poker is just sort of an afterthought, like they tuck us away in the corner with the sports book. Not here.
This is close to fold. You just folded. Take 300,000.
Alright.
Hey, you're still
like
doing
pocket
pretty
deuces.
well.
Yeah, you
I love
never know.
deuces. Especially in, yeah, all in the cash games, for sure.
Profion says hi. Hi, Profion.
Especially when it comes ace, king, and deuce. And when that person has ace, king, you upset. Yeah, deuces?
No, I have ace.
Aaron with a suited ace on the button. This is shovable. And Aaron agrees. He does shove. Ken with king, queen suited makes the fold. And Aaron gets it through. Aaron with another pickup.
King, baby. Get lucky one.
Yeah?
Gotta get lucky.
Old king ball one time.
Should have saved 65 pounds.
Right?
History repeats itself.
Somehow we just like check it down when I have 75 behind and then
Really?
I lose and spin it back up. That's too low probability. Do it twice.
It was incredible to watch the first time.
Yeah? Yeah?
I felt honored just to be a spectator.
Yeah, they shorts you add up poker where I know those wins.
Provide you with that.
That makes it
Britt with ace queen gonna raise it up.
For me as well.
And Waco and Britt about to clash again. Waco with tens this time. Not quite aces, but they'll do, except when Aaron has queens.
Oh, that's right.
I think we're going to hear two words from Aaron. They start with an A and an I. What do you all think?
All in.
Choose all in. 3 folds. 4 folds.
Aaron does move all in. Britt wondering how much. Aaron's going to get a taker. I don't know that he gets 2 takers, but I suspect he gets 1 taker. There are some hands that Britt can either be beating or flipping with.
2.250.
Britt will make the call with ace queen.
2.25.
And now Waco with a choice to make.
Okay, hands up.
Waco gets out of there. If Britt folds, I think Waco calls with the tens. Britt needs to find an ace to eliminate AA Ron. 2 longtime Austin regulars going to battle here. Jack 7-4, no help for Britt, just the back door. 5 of diamonds closes that back door. She needs an ace. She does not get an ace. AA Ron going to double up through Britt Waller. AA Ron going for the spin once again. Yeah, the problem, Sergeant Sassy, with Waco calling with the tens is that the chips that you lose are more detrimental than the chips that you win are beneficial in a tournament. If he misses his set, he probably has to fold, and then he's the short stack.
We can hear you too well.
And Yeah, Britt could just easily like have a better pair. Like imagine you have tens and you flop an overpair, and then Britt rips into you. Like you're probably gonna throw up a bit. I think the fold's fine for Waco.
It's exactly what I thought when I was in a hand and I realized the mics were right under my nose.
It's fine by me.
Yeah.
Can't be results oriented, even if that's what they pay us on. Rebel Poker says he was at the Dodger game yesterday, and just don't remind me of that result. I mean, not everybody's cool with the outcome of that game. Some people were disappointed, and by some people I mean like maybe the guy who's sitting in the booth right now. Mets had a good run though, and they massively overachieved this year. Like this was supposed to be like a maybe 500 team, and they're building towards next year. Mets had a good year.
That's cool. It's on the big screen though.
Oh yeah, they got it up there. Okay. On the big thing. Yeah, they got it up there.
Oh, there's aces versus kings hand.
Yep.
King queen for Aaron. Suited. Aaron getting some hands.
He raises to 300,000.
Unfortunately, I don't have control over making the chip counts pop up. Otherwise, I'd be happy to show you those. I'm trying to track them in my head. Miyati's the chip leader. Miyati can just chill a bit and watch some of these players go to war. We're going to defend Ace-7 offsuit versus King-Queen suited. Ace in the window and a king for Aaron. We're out flapping Aaron this time. Check, check. Aaron doesn't need to bet. Does pick up a gut shot. Britt fires out the 300,000. Aaron with second pair on a gutter. There are two flush draws on the board that he does not block. So there are some reasonable bluffs that he's beating. Makes the call. He's going to need a king, queen, or jack. Let's get some paint. Instead, we get a 9. Ace will be good for Britt. Check, check, and we'll just get the showdown, and Britt's going to take it. Chat Star Kiwi Call, good to see you. You just got home. I see over 400 of you watching. This is incredible to get to hang out with all of you as we watch an amazing final table. Be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying this. Subscribe if you want to see more TCH Live. We're on at least 5 times a week. Cash games 4 days a week. Final table from Dallas every week. Additional final tables for special tournaments like this one. We'll be back on next Monday with the final table for our $1 Million Guarantee main event. $800 buy-in. Get yourself out here if you want to play that Wednesday through Saturday or the day ones. Alex raised his ace from the cutoff.
2.4.
Shorter stacks. Suited connector on the big blinds for Waco. Does choose to defend. Ace, 8, 8, 2 spades. So Alex with top pair, Waco with just some backdoors.
150. 150.
Alex continues with a min bet.
So quick, you already saw it.
And if I'm in Waco's seat, Alex doesn't have enough chips to make this work
Only
continuing.
15 minutes.
So Alex going to take this one down.
And it's on right there.
Adric Led, you're enjoying the commentary. Always a pleasure to get to share the game I enjoy so much with all of you. Profion, yeah, glad you're enjoying this. Yeah, I think we're a pretty chill bunch with the commentary team and the moderation. I mean, just like don't be an idiot with the moderator. That's all. Then you'll avoid moderator troubles. Like just like no politics. Don't start talking about like other clubs. Don't like don't be a jerk. I mean, like don't be a jerk. That's what it boils down to. And all of you in the chat, you guys are pretty good at not being jerks. So like, I think we got a great community here. Over 50,000 subs. And enjoy hanging out with you. Aaron's defending the big blinds. Aaron and Britt once again. Britt fires out the 300,000 C-bet. Aaron with an over and the backdoor straight draw. Aaron going to continue. A lot of turns that'll be good for him. Unfortunately, not the 10 of clubs. See if Britt goes for another barrel. She has picked up an open ender. Goes a $500,000. And that'll get Aaron out. Can we talk about thermonuclear dynamics? You know, if Aaron were in the booth instead of at the final table, I'm sure you two could have a wonderful conversation about that. I don't know the first thing about thermonuclear dynamics, unfortunately, so I'm probably not much conversation there. Yeah, we're playing poker right now. We're not playing spades. We're playing poker today. And he just unlocked a memory for me. Way back when I was in college, there was a project I had to do to implement a spades game, like a spades game on the computer. Like I had not actually been familiar with spades at that point, and so like I learned the game. It's kind of a fun game. I haven't played it in forever.
Hey guys. Hey.
There's your day scheme. I just showed you how to do that in the chat.
We had queens, I had ace queen, and I lost that. That was like $2 million, but I won some back.
I think Britt's saying hi to somebody off the stage. 10-9-7. And Aaron has flopped the nuts. This is good.
Natalie, thanks for coming. Amanda's supposed to be here, but...
Aaron sees the check. Might be an action killer turn, or maybe not. So it is 4 to a straight, which makes it a little bit obvious that there's straights out there, but Ken has turned the bottom end of it. See what Ken wants to do with the bottom end of the straight. And Ken does have to redraw to the better straight if the jack shows up on the river. I'm going to try and get some value here.
Yeah.
Please have a 6 or 2 pair, Ken.
My wife and her friend are over there, so.
Blind versus blind.
Thank you.
I don't have the 275 as the bet, and he did get called. 5 of spades on the river, so backdoor spades get there. Ken has the bottom end of the straight. Aaron has the almost top end of the straight. Not the queen jack, but the jack. Million chips in the middle.
It's good.
At least a million heading Aaron's way if we get the showdown.
Off a little bit.
Yeah.
Under the lights a lot for you,
Is that a check? Yeah, if that was it. Oh, he bet $500,000. He floats in $500,000. Ken floats in $500,000. And that's additional chips that are heading to Aaron with that straight versus straight hand. So Aaron back up to $5 million. It's like that Kings versus Aces cooler never happened. See, Sergeant Sassy says that Jeremy, our dealer, looks like his twin. I'll have to believe you on that. Profion talking about some of our chat regs. You know what? Some of them might come around a little bit later. You know, some people, you know, they're doing other things or they got work or something. And, yeah, so our cash game shows usually start at 6 o'clock Central Time, which we're actually coming up on that. Steffen going to be all in for his remaining 9 big blinds, King Jack offsuit. If Britt had a better kicker, I'm sure she'd be in there. Ace-4 suited, probably not quite enough. Gonna get past Aaron, gonna get to the blinds now, gets past...
Got 2 live ones at least.
Yeah, not Miotti though. Miotti in the big blinds, ace-queen suited. Snaps Steffen. Steffen gonna need a king or a jack to avoid being eliminated in 7th place. Here we go to the run out. No king, no jack yet.
One time.
Club's no good for him now.
All right. Good game, guys.
Steffen going to be eliminated in 7th place.
Don't forget your beer.
Oh, yeah, definitely need that.
Don't forget your beer.
Again.
Sage advice from Britt.
Beer, huh?
Good games. Yeah, I do. Somewhere.
Can't take it home. It's on here, yeah.
Yeah, I can't take it home. You got to drink it here.
Looks like it's on there.
You too.
So, with that elimination, let's talk payouts again. For 7th place, Steffen is going to receive $14,440. Everyone else going to take home at least $17,430. Next payout after that will be $21,870, and then
300.
things start to get steeper from there as we work our way towards
That
the
makes it 300, 9 fold.
$86,210
Everyone needs to scan.
first place
Scan
prize.
cards again. Everyone needs to scan at the same time, I believe. We good?
Yeah.
We good? Okay.
Yeah. At Rebel Poker, there's a few of us who have the mod wrench. You just don't always see us participating in the chat. But we exist. Albert Padilla, longtime friends of the show, going to be here this weekend. Great. Look forward to seeing you. I'll be here this weekend. And I'll tell you all about this weekend again after this hand.
5 calls. Heads up.
6s for Britt. Going to get the defense from Alex, who does flop the
Check.
bottom ends of the gutter on Jack 10-4. Britt with 3rd pair. Check, check. Top card pairs, the Jack pairs. Alex, one of the shorter stacks here, going to stab at this, and
7 calls.
goes $250,000. Pretty small sizing. Britt gonna come along with that price. 3 of clubs is gonna brick any draws that were out there. Unlikely to improve anything. 1.3 million in the middle. Does Alex send it, or does he wave the white flag?
Alright, that's 800,000.
He's gonna almost send it. He's gonna go 800K, and Britt's gonna snap him. And Britt's gonna be right. So this will knock Alex down to a little bit under 10 big blinds. 9 high like a boss. Not going to do the trick for Alex. Carlo the Chat Pro, great to see you. Saw you here over the weekend playing some tournaments. The People's Champ Albert.
Big one, 150, 150.
Let's see. What was I saying? This weekend, yeah. Main event starts Wednesday at noon. We got a lot of stuff happening Wednesday. 12 and 5 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. $800 buy-in, $1 million guarantee main event. Everything is overlaid so far. So very possibly some extra added value. Come on over here, TCH Social Austin.
4 makes it 300,000.
Miyati gonna leverage that chip lead a little bit, opening very late. The queen deuce offsuit, opening the button. Britt's got a lot of chips of her own though on that big blind. She's gonna defend with her suited ace. Jack 6-4, 1 spade, just backdoors for Britt. Nothing for Miyati, but an over. C-bet may do the job though. Aggression can be the winning move pretty often. Britt is not in a folding mood. She's going to call. Going to see if she picks anything up. She picks up bottom pair, as does Miyati. They both have a pair of deuces. Britt's ace, the superior kicker.
Check, check.
Check, check. Miyati feels less compelled to bluff. And the top card pairs on the end. Backdoor hearts get there. This jack of hearts. And now Britt is going to put the pressure on Miyati. Can he bluff catch? Miyati's thinking it over.
Oh, showdown.
Flicks it in. And gonna find out that he had the right idea, but Britt had the better kicker. So now they're about even in chips. Britt pulls slightly ahead of him. Doing great, Carlo. How are you? Glad to see you. Matthew Myers, good to see you. That's right, I am William Waddy, the New York Knit with you.
Small blind.
And so glad to have you all here as we play this final table, $500,000 guaranteed multi-day event, our very first weekend of the Trailblazer Tour at TCH Social Austin through this week.
2 races to 300.
TexasCardHouse.com for the complete schedule ahead of us. There's a tag team tomorrow,
7 folds.
among other things, and get some more mixed events this week. Some POO, and then of course that main event starting Wednesday. Our Poker and Politics meetup game on Wednesday as well. I'll tell you all about that in a moment. 755 is good for Waco. Defended big blind gets rewarded with top pair. Aaron's deuces have a safe looking flop.
That's 250.
Aaron continuing for 250. Waco wants to end this now. Waco going for the check raise. 7s and 5s with a 6. Fairly small check raise, makes it 600.
Calls.
Aaron, not a believer yet. King of Diamonds on the turn certainly favors Aaron's range as the under the gun opener. But Waco gonna put another barrel in there. 400,000 to bet from Waco. Pull from Aaron would leave Waco with a pot-sized shove on the river. Aaron making the call. Still beats all the draws. The river is 3 of spades. Front door spades come in. 6-4 also comes in, a hand that Waco could certainly have. As it is, Waco has the best hands with his 7.
200,000.
And Waco going for the little blocker bet on the ends. Dirty Dan suggesting that Aaron bump it up. There's an interesting idea. Good to see you, Dan. Another longtime Austin poker regular.
Showdown.
Aaron makes the call, gonna bluff catch, gonna find out that he's not getting bluffed, unfortunately. All right, so once again, I'll let you all know about the meetup game we have coming up Wednesday from 2 to 11 p.m. All in together poker and politics. 1-2-2 blinds this hand. We've got actor Jason Mitchell, fireman Scott, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, poker vlogger Wolfgang, Greg Raymer, main event champion 20 years ago, and Poker Face Ash, another vlogger. A meetup game and a live stream on Wednesday. Should be a great day. And we have some promos that I'll tell you about after this hand also happening that day. Make it even more worth it to come out here.
5 folds. So that's going to be raised to 400,000.
Little misclick from Britt. So Ken called and then Britt put out 300K, which would have been a min raise on the last level. Now we're at 122, 100, 200, 200. And 300,000 is at least half of a min raise, so she's held to a full raise of 400,000, which is probably what she intended anyway. We go heads up. Queen 9-5 is going to be middle pair for Ken. Gutter for Britt, who quickly calls. 8 of spades.
3 checks.
Can I see how much you have?
Britt wants to see how much is left. Ken has a little bit over pot left, 2.6 million. She checks back. She needs a king or a 10 to have the best hand. Instead, the 7 is going to make it 4 to a straight.
600,000.
10 would have been deadly for Ken. Would have been a straight over straight situation, but lucky for him, he avoids that fate. Yeah, that would have been straight over straight. $600 of the bet from Ken, and Britt not going to be calling with king high. Kenny wondering, do you have to be a U.S. citizen to play TCH? As far as I know, you don't. As far as I know, there's no citizenship requirement to play here. To become a member of the club. Bob's saying Dirty's a legend. Yeah, Dirty's a legend. And yeah, I promised you those promos. I swear I'll do the promos after this hand. They're great promos.
9 makes it 450.
450. The bet from Waco. Suited gapper.
3 calls. Heads up.
Ken's got a suited ace. Let's go. Heads up. Ace 6-4. That's good news for that suited ace.
9 bets 250. Calls.
250. And the call from Ken. We go to the turn. 5 of hearts will give the gut shot to 10-8. So Waco with a sliver of hope here. Ken picking up the gutter.
Check.
Check, check. Waco needs a 7. Waco gets a 7! Straight over straight. Ken with the 7 high straight. Waco with the 8 high straight. Backdoor hearts do arrive. And now Ken rivering the straight.
850.
Gonna put the bet in there. Goes 850. Does Waco want to raise is the question here. If Waco can get called by a 3, he'll want to raise.
Raise.
Does make the raise.
0.5.
Looks like 2,050,000.
50,000.
2,050,000.
Yeah, 2,050,000.
So Ken will have some chips if he gets called, or if he calls and he doesn't win. And he does make the call. Another straight over straight. This one going Waco's way. Now Waco has over 8 million chips, and Ken is cut down to 10 big blinds. Wow.
No, but he has it to the 8.
Straight to the 8. Beating his straight to the
Alright,
7.
you guys
Okay,
got
those
a new
promos
dealer
for
coming
Wednesday.
Thanks, Jeremy.
We got high hands every 20 minutes from 10 to 4.
Keeping you safe.
Winner gets an $800 main event seat that you have to play that day. It is transferable. Free play from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Time match if you play 2 hours at this meetup game. You can do 200 for 400. If you're a new member, you get a month for $1. $1 beers, some awesome promos. And Jeremy's stepping out. We got a new dealer coming in. I'll let you know when I know who that is. Little microphone swap out here. Shout out to producer David helping run the audio. We've got Kristen pressing the buttons as she does so well.
Who was this one?
Yeah, Waco is a beast. Like, there's not any soft spots at this final table as far as I can tell. The people I know are playing great, and the people I don't know are also playing great. And you know what? I don't blame Ken for making that bet.
All in.
Alex with ace-10 suited and 7 big blinds decides this is the moment. Aaron with king-queen. Not a ton of chips to spare. He's only got 15 bigs. If he were deeper, we could think about it. If we were suited, we're a lot happier to call. I could see him folding here. I could see that as a possibility. That is Tyler in the box, by the way. Aaron going to make the call. So Aaron's going to need to find himself a king or a queen. Alex needs to hold on here. Ace-10 of spades for him. Gets an ace. Aaron with a gutter, though. A jack will do the job. The 8's going to pair. The river is a deuce. Aaron going to double up Alex.
That's a rail right there. I'm getting
So
shown
now
up by her right now. They all got
Aaron down
faces
to
and
8
shit.
bigs.
That's a pretty sick thing for your rail to do, though. That's really cool.
I know, that's so nice of her.
Yeah, with
She's a big regular.
yeah, with that 3, like I have a hard time calling as well. I have to agree,
Yeah.
Kenny. Like I'm
Maybe you just need to get the
like
fuck
I
out
probably
of
play
here.
the 3 as a check call. Also, I love how you're spelling call in the New York way. That is where I'm from, and there's definitely still a lot of New York in the accent.
Race.
Jack-10 of clubs for Britt. Makes it $500,000.
Is that a full raise?
Is that a full raise? 500,000 is more than a full raise. Maybe that's just a joke from that misclick before. Like, if you think Alex can be wider, like if you think Alex could be getting there with like a queen jack, with a jack-10, and the king queen looks really great to call with. Small pairs, like you'll have smaller pairs that you're flipping with a lot. Like even if it's like an ace-X, you'll have 2 live cards fairly often. So it's not like it's going to be like an 80-20. Miyati opening an ace on the button. Gets it through. That's $500,000 chips he picks up now. Playing 100, 200, 200, 6-handed. Every pickup is going to be huge. About 31 million chips in play. Scrub, Miyati, and Baller all in that 8 to 9 million range, and everyone else on the shorter side waiting each other out. Miyati opening cutoff. Waco in the big blinds. About the same stack is going to defend with that Jack-10 off. With the min raise. Jack-10 versus 9-7.
Okay, that sounds good.
And 9-7 has middle pair. Jack-10 has the gutter. Waco quickly checks the Miyati. Ace high board is going to be really good for the pre-flop raiser. Now make that small bet. And Waco with just a gutter. The gutter's the only out he can count on. Like he could be up against an ace. He does have some outs the second pair. Deuce of diamonds offers no help to him. Does Miyati want to keep pressuring? He could potentially get some value from draws. He would hate to get check raised by a big stack, though. $900, and that will get the quick fold from Waco. Not looking to do anything too fancy there.
Aaron, you had like 1.5, right?
1.6 to start, yeah.
Waco getting a stack check on Aaron, who is having to post 400,000 of those chips. See the aggression frequency, the great mystery, how that's calculated, I don't know.
All in.
All in from Alex. Ace-8 offsuit on the cutoff. And gets it through. Goes from bad to worse for Aaron. I think that's 1.2 he's left with now. We got some rails appearing. I see Lorraine. I see Lang.
Hey, you did pretty well yourself.
See a couple other faces I'm not familiar with.
Go team.
Yeah,
Is that
you did
Britt's
say that
face on a
I hope
stick?
they get y'all on the camera.
Oh, you're all on. You're all famous. I don't know your names, but shout out to all of you supporting your friends at this final table.
Oh, sorry. Get my dad in. Come on, Dad. Look, he's taking it.
And hopefully your dad gets in the shot if he's in the house.
Go, Britt. You're the best.
And Ken gets a walk in the big blind. I think that's our first walk. Okay, there we go. You're all in the shot.
Why do I not have that?
You're all in the shot.
I'm doing okay, Dad. Hanging in. Hanging in.
Oh, she's doing more than hanging in. She's balling. Living up to that name. One of our top three stacks here.
What's wrong with you, Ethan?
Has locked up a 5-figure score. And with a very good chance to add to that score with some ladders here. Aaron with 5.5 bigs, not going to shove the Jack-7. You don't get a lot of chances to take a spot playing just 6-handed. Ken going to min-raise the 6-5 on the small blind. Miyati, 2 suited broadways on the button against the player who started with 10 bigs. If I were Miyati, I'd consider just jamming and seeing what Ken wants to do. That's what he's going to do. Just going to put out a whole bunch of those 500,000 chips, and Miyati going to pick this one up. Miyati going to hit the 8-figure mark, the 10 million chips. He'll be the first one to do it. And just to remind you of what we're playing for here. 6th place, 17,430. 21,870 for 5th, 28,640 for 4th, 39K for 3rd, 60,490 for 2nd, and 86,000 and change for 1st place. Hudson says Alex could beat the other players in a foot race. Well, it's a good thing that there's no foot race involved in this game. I'd be a massive underdog in that scenario, and Miyati going to rip into Alex's 14 big blind stack. Alex wants to see what the other stacks are. He wants to see who he's
for like 2 seconds. I got a glance.
covering or not. And Alex covers seats 2 and 3. Aaron and Ken, he covers both of them. So I think Queen 8 suited becomes a very easy fold when there's 2 players you could wait out, especially Aaron. Love Aaron, but it would be a disaster to go broke before Aaron right now, given his stack. I want to see some resolution for him, either a double or a bust out, before I consider doing anything with the Queen 8 suited. But always a good idea to remain on top of the situation.
I have no idea who that is. I was just.
As far as chip dynamics, they can change pretty quickly.
That's a real guy.
Aaron with the ace-jack, surely this is the moment for him. Ace-jack offsuit and all in. I believe he has a big stack in the big blind, so his chances of getting through are not great. Britt has king 10, and this is a call, and she does make the call. Aaron needs to hold with the ace-jack to survive. Britt looking for a king or a 10 to score the knockout.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go. Ace 10-10. Britt flops trips. Aaron needs an ace.
I got a vote.
King on the turn. Britt has filled up.
Good game, Aaron.
And AA Ron, our friend Aaron McAvoy,
Nice playing with you, man.
is eliminated in 6th place.
Hey, y'all.
Good game, Aaron. Heck of a run to get to this point. Heck of a run to even make it to the final table, man. Amazing run. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you very, very soon as we have these big tournaments. And you know, if Aaron's hearing this and he wants to show up in the booth and chat with us, he's welcome to do that as well. I'd certainly love to have you here.
I got a full house.
So 17,430 is what Aaron's going to take home. 21,870 is what the rest of these players have locked up, and next ladder is about 7,000 more. And Alex with Ace King suited on the button. Gonna move all in. See if Britt wakes up with the other hand. No, she doesn't. Her cards hit the muck pretty quick. Not gonna want to double down with the 8-3. Waco has 10-8 suited. I think this is way too many chips to be calling off.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep, and it would be nice to see the players themselves a little bit more. So the way the system works is, like, what camera we're on is automated based on like where the action's at, or like if we're running out of board. It's not like we're pressing buttons to change every camera. Like, that would be cool, like if we have that capability. Bit more of a modest production here at the moment, but we're always looking for ways to improve, and feedback's appreciated. Like, we have the players mic'd up today, which is something that we haven't done in Austin before. Britt's going to raise and take it. The rich get richer. 5 players left. Yeah, Britt is making great reads. I agree with you, Patrick. Yeah, this is the Britt show today. And I'm here for it. And Britt has 7s. It also helps when you have hands. Unfortunately, Waco has a better hand. 2 queens. Makes it 700.
Good luck.
And Ken decides to rip it with ace-3 offsuit against a limp and a raise. And Ken's decided this is the time. The problem is, like, you have like 1.1 million or so. There's no chance Waco's ever folding. And you're going to be toast against a lot of his range. Britt's going to get out of there now. And, of course, Waco's going to call with queens. And now Ken needs an ace to stay alive, or he's going to be out in 5th place. 9-8-5. 5. Ken needs an ace. Does not get an ace. Ken's going to be out in 5th place. And Waco going to collect a pot. And going to collect himself a ladder, as will the rest of the players.
No needle taken. It's the entire table.
Well, I could just understand how that would have came across as a big move, and I wasn't.
A surprising move, but I think maybe he decided, hey, I could triple up here. Well, you know what? The good news for Ken is he does win $21,870. The good news for everyone else is they've locked up $28,640. Next ladder is going to be up to $39,000. This is some serious money we're talking about here now. Eric, sorry you just saw the Aaron knockout. But you know what? If you want to relive the good times, there's almost 2 hours worth of show where he's still in the tournament. And then just like stop the video at like an hour 50, and you can imagine whatever outcome for Aaron you'd like. EA PPO1, they didn't make the guarantee. No, they didn't make the guarantee. So TCH kicked in some money in this prize pool. So prize pool is exactly $500,000, and Alex has top pair. Miyati with a gutter. No blinds on blinds action here. Alex going for a min bet.
So yeah, Lorraine is who Sarah painted a pain for.
200,000 the minimum now. That's the big blinds. Miyati making the call. The 4 is going to improve Miyati from a gutter to an open ender. Alex, however, improves to 2 pair. Will he seek more value? There's a million chips in the middle.
Love my rails so much, guys.
My video is a bit choppy right now. I don't know. I don't have action here, unfortunately. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
You can watch too. They're streaming it. So is the one he's watching.
Okay.
So have you been watching to see what's happening? Yeah, it's here. It's on the TV.
Now let me see. Okay, so Alex is bet 650. Okay.
That's what they call the rail right there.
Not dead.
All right. So okay. Oh, all in. So Miyati check jammed, and Miyati makes the straight.
Down to 3.
Alex gets eliminated in 4th place.
Thank you.
Good run.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so it looks like it was an all-in and a call, and just like that, Alex is gone in 4th place.
12 minutes. Let's chat.
Wow. And then there were 3.
This guy was in.
All right, so we have our podium essentially. 28,640 going to Alex. Everyone's locked up 39K. 60,490 for second place, and then first place getting $86,210.
I wasn't paying very close attention because my
And there
rail
were
was
3.
distracted.
Miyati with a little over a third of the chips here. Raises his suited queen.
Kind of like earlier, we both liked the 7.
King 10-7 rainbow. Miyati continues for 300,000, 1.5 bigs. Britt folds. Haley Oz, yeah, I just showed you what the prize pool is, what the remaining payouts are. We're still playing for a ton of money. Like the difference between 3rd and 1st is almost $50,000. An insane amount of money, and congrats to all these players for having come this far. I can't wait to see how it ends. Predictions in the chat. Do you think Miyati, our chip leader, finishes the job? Do you think Britt keeps building stacks, or do we think Waco
Where'd you get that picture from? Facebook.
is going to
Nice.
find
Just
his way to
after my
victory?
haircut one day or something.
Let us know in the chat.
That's hilarious. Aw. But it's not
He's
about fun yet
6'6".
today. I'm just kidding. It's always about you. It's still it's her birthday
Check,
month.
check.
Hey, Dad, there's a break in 9 minutes. If y'all are going to leave, will you wait?
Anastasia
You're gonna
cheering
leave, will
for
you wait
Britt.
till that? Oh.
Dirty saying Britt and Waco get heads up. I'm not opposed to that idea. You heard mention of a break. There's going to be a 7-minute break in about 8 or 9 minutes. So just be 7 minutes, and then we'll be right back. But keep it here, and we'll tell you about the promos over the break.
No, he asked me to.
But we have some poker between now and then.
That's full.
So is that one.
Patrick's picking David. Who's David? Which one's David? I see stream names. I don't remember their actual names. Sergio needs Britt to scoop. Waco, okay.
Like 9?
Well, Waco has ace queen, and that is a promising sign for him.
9.5.
550 the raise. Miati in the small blind. Makes the call. Britt as well, so we got a family pot. Ace queen, jack 9 suited, and pocket 4s. Trip 9s for Miati. Our chip leader smashing this flop. Britt leading out. I think that's a $500,000's worth of red chips. Ace queen gets out of dodge.
That didn't count. I think 8.
And it's like Christmas time for Miati. Sitting with trips on a pretty safe board. King 9-9 rainbow. Out of position, the question is, do we check raise and try and get value for a king, or do we let Britt keep bluffing? He makes the call, keeps her range as wide as possible. 3 on the turn. 2 clubs on the board now. This shouldn't alarm anybody. Britt's going to check back. That might have been a one-and-done bluff. How about quad 9s? Just in case 3 9s aren't enough, how about 4 9s? But now he might get value out of Britt because Britt has rivered a full house. She has 9s full of 4s. He goes for all of it. Goes for the massive overbet. 3x pot. If Britt calls, she is out in 3rd place. Miati going for the home run ball. Britt in the blender. She has a boat. It is not fun to fold boats, even if they're small ones.
I have a boat, but I'm folding.
She announces that she's folding a boat. And that fold saved her tournament life.
I don't think he's trying to risk that much of his stack without a better hand in that moment.
Yeah, Adric making a great point.
What?
Britt's making some big calls. You just hear her saying, like, maybe he's not willing to risk it. Like, if I'm her, I'm probably giving credit for at least a king.
Do you have a 9?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's like, sometimes.
Rain,
Because that would,
report back what you had there in about 5 minutes, okay?
like, Miati would potentially be
I'll find out while we're on.
incinerating a lot of ICM.
I'm sorry.
Like, probably about $30,000 worth of ICM if
I'm just going to make sure.
that was a bluff and that fails. I'm not sure that that's happening yet. As we continue on with this final table. Yeah, Poker Rhino, blink and you miss everything around here. That's the fun of this show. It's a 15-minute delay, and I think he just strongly implied that he had quads. Like, you know, if there was no break coming, I might sit on that for the 15 minutes. Like, given that they are about to have a 7-minute break, like that information is going to become known pretty quickly. Certainly, one of Britt's many supporters is going to be watching the show and saying, hey, he had it. If you're enjoying this, be sure and hit like. Subscribe if you want to see more TCH Live on at least 5 days a week. We have cash games, small ones, big ones, 5, 10, 25 with like 5-figure buy-ins.
Check.
Get some PLO. We got a tournament final table at least once a week. Streaming out of Austin, Dallas, Houston, and Rio Grande Valley. Something for everyone here on this blind versus blind hand. Britt Bowler with bottom pair, Miyati with an open ender. See if he can score another knockout with a straight here. Goes for the min bet. Gets the call. Ace of hearts on the turn. Brings in the front door hearts. Sounds like 525,000. My video is frozen again. I can't see what's happening. Apologies again for the internet being slow. That's a fold. Okay, that's not a surprise that that's a fold. Okay, so it looks like you're having video, so that's the important thing. You guys can see it. There we go. Miyati raising. Going for the min raise and getting it through. Miyati now sitting with half the chips as we're three-handed here.
We get a 7-minute break. I guess that makes sense.
It's just 7 minutes?
7 minutes? Come on.
That's insane, man.
That is insane.
I think it's at least 10.
I thought 10 was
Says-
too short.
it says
I thought
7
It does say
minutes.
7 minutes. That's absurd.
Imagine if y'all need a little extra.
Some of these players wishing that they had a little bit more than 7 minutes.
I mean, y'all are calling out the 25 gauge or
I don't blame him for making that choice, for having that wish. It is an intense spot.
Raise.
Poker Rhino, I don't believe you. So, like, my video's frozen, but my audio's not sometimes. Like, my audio's working the entire time. I think I would have heard a steel chair. As dramatic as that sounds. How about Britt raising it up with the ace-jack? Miyati calling. And outflapping Britt with his middle pair. 7-4 offsuit is going to outflop ace-jack. Miyati's getting a lot of cards. And that definitely helps as far as having success in this game. And he's going to just go ahead and check raise her. Doesn't want to see a club. Doesn't want to really see any overs. Britt's calling.
How much are these? 2?
Yeah, 1.150, I'm sorry.
Britt's not believing Miyati. And she did just see the straight draw versus 2-pair hand where that just exploded in Miyati's favor. 2-pair for Miyati. 6-5 does get there, but 2-pair for Miyati. What are the chances that Miyati's going away here? I'd say 0. Poker Rhino saying 7-4 is the best hand in poker. I'd rather have that hand in blackjack. You know, double down. If I'm playing deuce to 7, that's like 40% of a wheel. So that's something. And Miyati going bigger, going 2 million. And gets the fold. Sergio asking, is the big blind ante supposed to be the size of the small blinds? The answer is no, to the best of my knowledge. So some rooms, when it gets down to like 3-handed or 4-handed, the big blind ante gets cut in half. Not in this case. We still use the full big blind ante. And on that note, This does appear to be the 7-minute break. See you in 7 minutes. Keep it right here, though. We're going to stay on the air. And, yeah, we'll be right back on TCH Live.
I need some luck. So wait, if I have like 4.8, how many big blinds do I have?
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Coming back to 250. Not many. No, I have more than 8.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Yeah. 4 times 4, 6.
And welcome back. Back at a break. Having slight issues with our video. Apologies for the technical problems here. Gonna do our best. I know the video has been going out to you guys when it's been chopping on my side before. I do see Waco has raised into Britt. And okay, so yeah, my video is frozen, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be telling. Okay, so there we go. We're on to another hand. And Miyati's raised. And I imagine Waco's going to call. Okay, so Waco does call. And 863. I'm watching on YouTube, which is actually working better than my real feed at the moment. And Miyati does have a pair of sixes. Check, check. The 8 pairs on the turn. I have video here, but not there. 300 from Waco.
Love y'all.
Jacks and 8s and 6s. We're going to actually have Waco winning on the river, counterfeiting Miyati. Jacks and 8s with a 7 versus Jacks and 8s with a 6. So Miyati taking another one. We're at the short stack right now as we play 125, 250, 250. Looks like Waco with King 9 of diamonds.
Y'all sending good vibes? You sure?
Miyati.
My texts aren't going off. The good colors. I need green colors, Sonia.
Checking and ace 4 deuce deuce.
On it.
I checked already. Yes, yes.
All right, video smoothed out a bit, and Miyati going to take this one off of Waco. Yeah, sorry for the interruption there. The text not acting right. I told that this is all getting recorded just in case the internet decides to completely barf on us. Miyati limping. Britt with the Jack 10 offsuit. Ace 8 deuce rainbow or flat. And Miyati's still ahead with the queen high. Miyati's 300K bet gets through. He had the best hand anyway. And we continue on. 125, 250, 250. Watching TCH Live, William Lottie, the New York Knit with you as we play three-handed at our final table. Now that things are working again, I'll remind you all the payouts real quick. $39,000 to all these players now, these top three. $60,490 for second, $86,210 for first place. And Britt Blower in the small blinds with Queen Jack offsuit. Very, very playable hands. She'll play this hand as a raise. Waco with King 10 suited.
2.2 million. 9 raises to 2.2 million.
And my video froze again, unfortunately. I am going to do my best to get some more video for you guys. I'm real sorry about this. Okay, he goes for the 3-bet, 2.2 million, which is going to be pretty committing for Britt. This is one of these saying, like, put it in, I dare you, like, we're going to get the rest of it in. Rebel, I think they do stream on Thursday. Don't know the schedule this week. Britt's going to call. So she's going to have a little over half pot behind. 4.6 in the million. Ace, King, 3.
Oh, fuck me.
Britt leads all in, gets snapped off.
Give me a 10. Why did I do that?
Britt has a gutter. Britt needs a 10 to stay alive.
10.
Otherwise, she will be third place.
Queen.
Does not get there. She makes a queen, but that's not enough. And Britt Blower, heck of a run.
That was dumb.
You hear the applause. I wouldn't use the word dumb. I would use the word aggressive.
Dumb, guys.
Maybe a little over-aggressive by some people's opinion, but aggression is a winning move fairly often as well. And so we're going to be heads up.
Thank you.
Playing for a heck of a lot of money here. Well, you know what? $36,000 or $39,000. Not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. How much is the overlay? A little under 100K, I think. So $60,490 for second place. $86,210 for first. We'll see if they decide to do any kind of deal heads up or not. But we got a good one. And we got two fairly even stacks because it was Waco that got Britt. And Miyati with queens. Good game to Britt. Yeah, I agree. She's had a heck of a year poker-wise. She's come so far, and I love to see it. And Britt seems like a really great person, and you want to see people succeed. And yeah, the best is yet to come, I think. So, yeah. And I'm sure all these players are going to watch back the final table. They all are probably going to have at least one hand that they wish they would have played different. And that's just the nature of the beast.
$1.25, is that what it is?
My video's frozen again. I wish I could tell you what's going on here. Rhino says that I'll be saying this about you poker-wise this year. I hope so. Okay, so Waco has an open-ender against Miyati's queens. Check, check. Goose doesn't quite do it. Poker Rhino wants to up their hands. You know, don't we all? I hope you do it. I hope you do it. If you're in the area, then maybe you do it next weekend with the mean. 1.3 million for Miotti with the overpair. There's the call from Waco, looking for an 8 or 3. Gets an ace instead, 4 to a straight. Miotti with queens. Not one of the rivers he wanted to see. That's not only a straighty river, but that's a EC river. Does not deter him from betting. Puts out the 500K. Another one of those little blocker bets. Waco with essentially the nut low, or the nut low. The worst possible hand you could have here. Could go for a bluff. How many threes does Miotti have? Let's it go. Hey, Poker Rhinos in Austin. Great, man. You have no excuse to not be here. I hope that's taken the right way. Yeah, we got a bunch of tournaments this coming week. We've got Hold'em. We got stuff that's not Hold'em. We got $1 million guaranteed main event starting on Wednesday. I would put the graphic up, but I'm afraid to press any more buttons the way this video is acting so far. So, yeah, 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Wednesday through Saturday.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Texas.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, $800 buy-in, $1 million guarantee. You can see all the details at texascardhouse.com or on Poker Atlas if you want to see that structure. Unfortunately, my video's moving again. The moment I complain about it, it starts working. I noticed that with technology. The moment I yell at it, it does what it's supposed to. Got a lot of checking here. Nobody that interested in this run out. We check down. King High is going to beat Jack High. Miotti going to take a small one. Miotti up almost 2-1 on Waco Scrub, but 11.5 million chips for Waco is good for over 40 big blinds. So still plenty of play to go as we play 125, 250, 250 blinds. Jacks for Waco. We see that trophy on the table. That is what they're playing for, among other things. They're also playing for a lot of money. 5-3 for Miotti. Offsuit. Going to defend the big blinds. They're 3 right in the window. So he's got a pair. And Waco does not enjoy seeing an ace on the flop. Not so bad in a heads-up situation. Second pair could still easily be good. In fact, a lot of aces you probably would have heard from pre-flop. So Waco going to continue. And a pair in a backdoor straight draw is not a terrible hand heads up. Miotti makes the call. Waco could get a piece of it here. And 9 of spades on the turn does not help the 5-3. Also isn't all that scary for the jacks. And the moment my video decides to be useful again, I'll let you know what's going on. 1.25 million, the bet from Waco. Miotti gonna let it go this time. I just heard them call a mixed game over the speaker. I hope that there's seats when we're done here. I'd like one of those. Especially, like, we got some mixed tournaments coming up. We have a horse coming up on Wednesday, a dealer's choice on Thursday. Get some reps in. See over 300 of you watching. Hit like if you're enjoying this. If you don't mind. And get some more eyes on this poker action. How many more times, like how often rather, are you going to see two players playing for over $20,000? Doesn't happen that often. You will get another chance to see it though a week from today, Monday, around 4 o'clock Central Time, maybe a little bit later. Have the final table for our $800 main event, $1 million guarantee. Waco limping his button.
Raise 750.
Yachty putting a raise in.
That's cool.
Waco calling. Queen 3 deuce. Waco ahead with the king high.
Bet 800. Raise 2.1.
And Waco gonna raise it up. Looks like 2.1. Waco without a whole lot of his own, but takes it. Gets it closer to even. It's about 16-14 or so in favor of Miyati. Both players still plenty deep.
You like playing?
Do what?
Do you like playing?
I don't chop.
You don't chop? Fair enough. I like it.
Waco says no choppy.
I like to play too much.
Ace King 10, 2 hearts. Bottom pair for Waco, gutter for Miyati. A little something for everyone.
4 bets 500. Call. Nine check.
Waco picks up a heart draw.
Check, check. Going to a river.
And there's the hearts. 8 of hearts going to be the winner for Waco. Miyati with a pair of deuces. Yeah, ignore those Streamwaves messages. Like Austin's on Wednesdays now.
1.5 call. Check.
I think we had a small bet from Waco there. No, not a small bet, 1.5 million. And so now Waco takes a small chip lead. Got some more Waco supporters in the chat. Any Miyati supporters out there? Anybody think Miyati's going to get this done? Let us know. Whoever you predict, let us know.
725.
Might go raise, Miati flatting with those 7s. Those don't look like 7s. Ace Jack 10. Gutter for Waco. Jack check. 4 clubs. Miati with the only club. It's gonna look at those cards and check it over to Waco. He's gonna put a small bet out there. These small bets don't have to work that often to be profitable. Like 375. Miati doesn't have to fold that often for this to be immediately profitable, which is the beauty of it, especially if you think you have an opponent who's going to fold a little bit too much, which a lot of people will in this spot. Miati is going to call, though, and not going to 4-flush it. Pair of 7s will be good if he can make it to showdown. See if Waco has anything to say. He does not. He gives up. And so a small one heading Miati's way. See these VPIP numbers, they get a little bit less meaningful as we get into heads-up play. You're going to be playing lots of hands heads-up. You're going to be playing almost every hand heads-up. Miati definitely going to play this hand. He has 2 jacks. $750, it sounds like. Waco. Did they shuffle this thing? 9-7 offsuit. Where have we seen that before? And my video froze again. Yay for my video freezing again. There we go. 10-4-4. Okay, so there was a call. We went to a flop. And 9-7. Not calling that C-bet, of course. Poker Monkey, good to see you. Long-time friend of the show. Ace-10 offsuit for Waco. Goes for the limp. Miati gonna check his option. Ace-10 not connecting well. Miati with top pair. The 8 of spades on the turn. Miati gonna look for some value now. Waco gonna call that ace high. Backdoor spades on the ends. 4 of spades. Check for Miati. Check, check. Miati taking a small one. Building that lead up again a little bit. You want to play one of our cash games? Click the link and follow the instructions that we just pasted in the chat. Even says Austin's on Wednesdays now. Shout out to our production team for getting that fixed. I sent that note in like 5 minutes ago, and it's already fixed. Miyati gonna raise and take this one. And I don't see the new hands yet. See these new hands eventually. Jack deuce. And yeah, my action is frozen.
750.
Try and get it up here. Okay, we're going to a flop.
At 500.
Yeah, my video froze again. Okay, I see Miyati with ace-9 suited. Okay, we have aces and nines for Miyati, it looks like, and Waco turning a jack and a club draw. Not a club draw, just a jack. But Waco would need a jack to pull ahead here.
$4.2 million. 4.2 million.
No, I don't think there's two jacks of clubs. I think there's a misread. But you also know better than me because I don't have any video, and I may not have any audio either. All right. Let's see. It's got me on. Doesn't have the internet on. Okay. There we go. Okay, so Waco with top pair takes another pot down. Okay, so we're back for the moment. I think we're back for the moment. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so yeah, somebody suggested holding the action. Well, here's the problem, Edwin. So this action happened 15 minutes ago. And like 15 minutes in the future, we don't really know if, if the internet was working then. And yeah, I'll tell you when I'm watching on my phone, I'm watching the YouTube feed because sometimes it's coming through on my cell service better than it's coming through on my actual setup here, unfortunately. And it is being recorded just in case things go even more wrong. Yeah. All right, so another fun hand here. Ace-6 versus King-Jack. And it's going to be even more fun for the ace in Miyati's hands. Check, check. And the 5 adds to the fun with a gut shot for Miyati. And I think Waco's going to go for it. And it froze again. Of all the days for the internet to act up, it's this one. And sorry about that. Hopefully this moves again shortly. Okay, Waco bet 550. He bet, so Waco with just the king high bets into Miyati with the top pair on the gut shot. And I think Miyati just called, judging by the pot size. 3 pairs on the end. Waco not going to fire this time. Miyati does want to fire. He's got an ace. He does not have a kicker. Not that he really had a kicker anyway. 1.3. He was only beating ace-4 and ace-deuce as it was. 1.3 million, and Waco gonna call with king high, gonna try and bluff catch. Miyati not bluffing though. Miyati gonna stack up to 19.5 million. Pocket 8s for Waco. Waco going to make it 700,000, and Miyati going to continue with the 9 triz. No 9, no triz. King 5-4. Not a bad flop for those 8s. Waco going to continue for 400. Miyati does have a backdoor straight draw and the backdoor 3 of hearts. Miyati going to make the call. No, he's going to make the raise, actually. That's 1.2 million by my count. Which is a good thing because my video froze again. And waiting to get some video back. $1.2 million. I see it on my phone at least. So I might be a few seconds behind you. And Waco has re-raised. So Waco re-raised. He made a 3.4 million. And Miyati gonna have to go away with the 9-3 because well, that's just a whole lot of nothing. All right, so on to the next hand. All right, so Miyati raised his 10-7 from the button, and Waco gonna call with his king. And to the flop we go. And the 10 is going to have the best of it on this 10-9-9 flop. And Waco is going to fire into him for 300K. My actual video is frozen again. I'll see if my phone catches up. Okay, Miyati made the call and has picked up 3 pair, 10s and 9s and 7s. That 7, the only thing that 7's going to do is give him boat outs. Yeah, Drew's with a good point there, Drew's lens. Waco putting the pressure on with every hand. You're right about that. Miyati might be playing into that a little bit. Might be thinking, well, this guy's going to be bluffing a little bit much, so I'm going to let him bluff. And Miyati made it 600,000. You may already know this. And Waco folds. And maybe my real video decides to show us something. Again, apologies for these tech issues. Doing my best to provide commentary. It does look like you're at least getting video. Ace 10-8 is top pair for Waco, who did raise pre-flop.
400.
Continues on. Miyati doesn't have enough to continue, so Waco going to call a little bit back here. Matt keeps telling me next hands. Who are you cheering for, Matt? Ace 6. A suited variety for Miyati. Raise and take it. So Waco flopping bottom pair in this wins pot. Looks like check, check, and or not check, check. Bet call and 5 pairs on the turn. Waco gonna feel a little bit better about that. Makes it less likely
600.
that he's up against the better pair. At least the better pair that's on the board. Miyati gonna throw 600K in there. And the 4 calls, and the river is an 8. Miyati left with just jack high. Waco with the best hands. If he can get to showdown. Will he get to showdown?
At 1.1.
1.1 the bet from Miotti, about half pot. 7-6 does get there on the river. That was a front door straight. And if Waco were to call and be wrong, he'd pretty much be down 2-1 again.
I'll cut you off every time. My curiosity really gets the best of me. Probably why I'm not good at heads up.
And Waco makes the call, gets the good news that it was just Jack high he was up against. And so they're even once again. This heads-up battle goes on. The onlookers gather. Everyone excited to see how this ends. And Waco's already said he's not going to be chopping. On to the 92nd hand of our final table.
Oh, the blinds went over.
Oh, just the blinds, yeah, it would be up this end. Yeah, 153.3. So we go up, right? Yeah, keep the blinds over. Yeah.
Okay, so blinds are up. I believe it's 153 and 3, 150,000. 300,000, 300,000 big blinds, Annie.
Yeah, I got you. Raise 1 million.
$100,000 from me, not 100,000, 1 million from Miotti. I left a zero off. 100,000 was where we started today. Waco has a suited hand, but not connected or particularly good, so he's going to just fold, avoid some trouble. I don't know who that person is. Somebody comparing Waco to somebody from some show that I've never heard of. I guess I'm not as cultured as you are. Jack 10 for Waco. I've got Google if the internet's working. That's about 50-50 tonight. That's a lot of clubs. I do believe that that is a nut flush for Miotti with the steel wheel redraw. And Waco with a whole lot of nothing, so I don't think Miotti's going to make any more out of this unless he can induce a bluff.
Okay, do you mind like clearing that table where I can have the table? Sorry.
Thank you, Laura.
Miotti puts out the $500,000.
It's 1.375.
Waco gonna bump it up to 1.375. Miotti has induced a bluff. Miotti will make the call. Gonna give Waco every chance to keep bluffing. 8 of diamonds. Completely harmless card. Checks to Waco. Who's gonna go for another barrel? He's gonna take the bait. $850 the bet. A little less than a quarter pot. Yachty perhaps considering a raise or perhaps Hollywooding. I would just call here.
Raise 4.5 million.
He is going to raise, though. He's going to go for it. If this is a flush over flush situation, then this would win him the tournament, very possibly. Unfortunately, this is a flush versus Jack high, no pair, no draw, no hope. So, assuming that these cards read correctly. We go into the tank, so this is either a misread or this is saving face, one or the other. Or he's considering some kind of insane rebluff, which would end the tournament if he went that route. Fortunately, my video's acting up again. I heard the words nice hands. I imagine Waco folded.
I got it. I got small bills in my jacket. I'm a giant dumb animal, so.
Yeah, Waco folds and Yachty takes it down. So we're back closer to a 2-1 lead for Yachty. And I'll try and put the payouts up. I'm having tech problems. Somebody asked about the payouts, so I will attempt to make that happen. It might even work.
Raise 1 million.
Okay. Okay, I got the payouts up, 86,210, 60,490. I don't have full control over when those numbers actually appear, so that's why I hesitate to put those up like this. So it looks like the video goes out to you guys just fine, but the problem is actually what the network as it relates to the computer that I'm using to do this commentary. Like, I see the feed a few seconds before you guys, and I say some stuff, and then that all goes out on the internet. And like the video that I'm getting is choppy, but your video seems fine.
Okay.
If you also rewind back to the beginning of the video, the payouts were put up like right near the beginning of that.
Raise 1.3.
How much you have?
Like 10 million.
Waco raising ace-jack suited. The theme is, how much do you have? Once the action tracker catches up, we'll see what we're doing. Okay, ace-7 offsuit. Chooses the call. 3-bet is certainly one of the choices. 6-3 deuce. Ace-jack still ahead. They both have backdoors. Check, check. Turn pairs the deuce.
Bet 8.
Yachty can go for the bluff now. Waco with a pretty good ace. can beat bluffs and will make the call. Miyadi needs a 7. He gets a 7. Oh, wow. Miyadi's made the best hand on this river. What does he do here? Does he make a bet aiming to get called? Does he try to induce a jam that would probably end this tournament? Looks like it was 2.1 million, a little under half pot. And Waco could rip for pot if he wants to go for the bluff, which is unlikely to work against the river top pair. Could also bluff catch. The club's missed. Like nothing got there on this run out. Like 5-4 flopped a straight, but nothing else got there. There's no straights that got there. There's no flushes that got there. And he's not blocking those draws either, really. He does fold. Miyadi building a bigger lead now. 22.7 to 8.7. So approaching a 3-1 lead for Miyadi. Earl asking, can you buy one of those trophies? I don't believe TCH has any for sale. Maybe you could ask a player who won a trophy if they want to sell it to you. Or you could enter one of these tournaments and win one for yourself. We got a bunch more tournaments this week, including the $800, $1 million guaranteed main event starting on Wednesday. Finishing with a live streamed final table 1 week from tonight. Or you could enter the tournament, get deep, get to final table, and then maybe negotiate some kind of chop where you take the trophy.
Raise 7.
As the stacks get shorter, Miyadi choosing to do a little bit more raising. Grinding Waco away. Just grinded away another 600,000 of his chips. Waco not a believer in the 9 triz. A good thing when you're suited with the same suit as the better hands. Waco's button, 9-7 offsuit. Waco doing the raising. Miyadi with the dirty type or the 3 deuce off. Does make the call. Heads up we go. Oh my, 9-3 deuce. This could be curtains. Waco flops top pair. Miyadi with bottom 2. Miyadi going to lead into him. 500,000 the bet for Miyadi. Waco goes for the raise. 1.9 million. This would leave him with about a pot-sized bet behind if Miyadi were to make the call. He goes all in. Waco calls. Waco needs a 9 or a 7 or this is over.
Thank you.
There's a 6. 9, 7, or 6. But that's not it. It's over. Miyadi wins. 3s and deuces.
Hey.
Gonna be the winning hand for Miyadi.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. I had the flush, then a flush. When I made it big on the turn, you'll see it. I mean,
I'm telling the stories now, what hands they had.
That's what I can do.
no.
Good game. Congratulations to all of our players. So it's Miyadi taking home $86,210. And Waco, $60,490. Britt, taking home $39,000. $28,640 going to Alex. Ken, $21,870. AA Ron, $17,430. Steffen gets $14,440 for 7th place. Baby Spider took 8th, $11,490. ADHD Poker, our first elimination today, $8,630 for 9th place. And that'll do it for our tournament. Be sure and join us again for tomorrow as tomorrow's TCH Live, the big cash game from Dallas. Thank you all for watching once more. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. This was a heck of a final table, and I can't wait to see next week's main event final table back here around 4 o'clock Central Time on Monday on this same channel, TCH Live Poker. On that note, on behalf of our dealers, Jeremy and Tyler, all of our floors, our producers, David and Kristen, working the show today, I'm William Waddy, the New York Knit,